Hello and welcome everybody to HEX the Kryptosparbuch show. A lot of things are going on in the HEX ecosphere. We are on the road, so we will talk about that. And what else is going on? We will talk about the technical analysis of the HEX Lion. So a lot of interesting things going on, and we also need you guys to ask a lot of questions in the chat for today. Okay?
Yes, also hello from my side. Hope everybody is doing great out there. Nobody is like too sad of the hex price, seeing it going down a little bit more. We will talk in the end of our stream about that, making the price analysis because everybody wants to know what's going on with the hex price. And now to warm up a bit, to start a little bit, we would like to share you some nice pictures to just show you what is going on our hex 5555 tour, um, show you like some impressions from different cities and stops we did. We already did like 15 stops right now. We are in Columbus, Ohio. Looking forward for a little meetup tonight and then tomorrow for the workshop. If you want to come as well, or just go on Facebook and then search for Columbus, Ohio, search which Facebook friends you have there, and just invite them to the Hex workshop. Maddie Allin will be here as well with us with his DeLorean. So if you want to have pictures with the Hex to the future car, or with the Hex wrapped supercar, or with the pulse chain car, then please come out and join us at the workshop tomorrow.
So yeah, Maddie is with us on the road doing the workshops as well. Sometimes he of course has to go home as well, but now he is with us. The next workshop, November 6th, Maddie will be with us as well and doing an introduction like the last time. We will put that out really soon as well. Then you can see how Maddie helps us with the workshops. But
All
now
right,
let's look at the
let's start with
pictures
the
first.
pictures.
Here you see one picture of Patrick and I. It was, where was it?
That was in Salt Lake City, in the basement where we made one room. Made a lot out of it, to get perfect audio there, and also great lighting.
Lightning.
Lighting,
And this
and you see
picture,
like the Hex logo and the Pulse logo in the background. And what's all about of this picture?
is the thumbnail of our 5555 tour documentary. So if you have not watched our tour trailer yet, go to Kryptosparbuch, look into the videos. It's only a 3-minute video. I think it shows really good what we are doing. So let's go on with the other pictures.
Yeah, that's me.
So those are just random pictures. We want to show you what we are doing in our meetups and in our workshops, and also all the surroundings when we go shopping, like here, for example, where we always promote Hex, of course, too.
Yeah, and when Abit here next to me wears his pullover, and then somebody asked like what he's doing, then he immediately like takes off his clothes until the next Hex logo is visible.
And show off my merch. A lot of people ask me, where do I get that merch or this shirt here, for example, or Patrick's shirt? We just buy them from Amazon. We produce them ourselves on Spreadshirt, and we just sometimes swap with other Hexicans. This is how we get our merch.
Yeah, so the pictures you just saw were like some pictures out of Salt Lake City. This one here was one of our small or like short stops. We only had like a so short period of time in Denver. This was Denver, Colorado. We had a great location, a great Airbnb apartment there. It was like a renovated old church, and met some great Colorado Hexicans in Denver.
A lot of OGs came. Timothy Benjamin, for example, Richie Rich came, Hexagon 720, all big OGs guys, which is so great because we need them. Their help so much to bring friends and
Yeah,
family
I
to
also I
exactly
also
those
need to some
meetups.
to add something for Denver. There was somebody who gifted us some hacks for the onboarding account. That's why we could increase the giveaway from a 5,555,000, from a 5,555 hacks giveaway to a 6,000 and a 2,000 hacks giveaway. And the OG wants to stay anonymous, but he was here at this casual meetup in Denver and just left a handwritten message for me, like thank you, with his Telegram handle. And shout out to him. Thanks a lot. Thank you for supporting our Hex giveaways at the workshops. And thanks for coming out and enjoyed the meetup and the time with us.
And other thing that we got supported on, I think I've not even talked to Patrick about that. Somebody from here also donated us 30 books of how to hex. Right, there is a book out
Ah,
on
yeah.
what a hex is all about, and they sent that to us. And soon we can also give them out as giveaways in our workshops. It's just awesome how the whole community comes together, supports us, so we can do those workshops even bigger.
Yeah, and like also here where we are right now in Columbus, we had a great meetup with Nardo for the win, and we gave him like a nice hex merge care package with some pens in it, and with hex stickers in it, with pull stickers in it, with business cards in it, and a dozen of hats. And also like with some follow up, because he also is interested in getting some more hex merch like t-shirts for his people he onboarded. And yeah, additionally to the giveaway in the form of hex, what we are doing at the workshops, we also give away a lot of hex merch at our workshops. So here the pictures you see is Avid posing with the hex car with the R8 in front of the Seattle Needle. This one here was, oh, this is already Chicago. Yeah, this is the first night in Chicago. This is the second day of Chicago where we met Johnny Chaos and his studio and his dragon. This was on the way there, what I remember, or even like a little bit before. Yeah, and
These pictures are not in the right order because they are
yes.
just in our cloud, in our team cloud. And our photographer Pascal, he does an amazing job putting all those pictures together and then also edit them to make them colors pop really good, right? So we have not
Yes.
even published those pictures. If you want to see those pictures, you will find them on our Instagram pages for Kryptosparbuch, hex.line, or also abit_hex.
And now, please, like, go ahead and I guess most of you also have an Instagram account, and it would be great and would also help your own Hex portfolio if you go ahead and join us also on Instagram and give us a like and a follow on Instagram as well.
But the most important thing for crypto is, of course, Twitter. And you can also follow Crypto Sparbook on Twitter. There we will post pictures like that as well, and also some informational stuff about the workshops and meetups. So if you're interested in that, follow us on all our social medias like Instagram, Twitter, but the most important thing, YouTube, of course.
And here, thanks again. Shout out to Johnny Chaos. We had a great time in his studio. Great pictures with his dragon, and also the little meetup we had in the evening. Also, some newer Hexicans. We had a great time there. So thanks, Johnny, for all the support, for all the things you did. And what you can see here was also in the week in Chicago when we were at the NBA pro game, the Chicago Bulls versus the New York Knicks, and we had a private suite up there in the stadium, as you can see on the pictures, and had some yeah, great time there.
What was
For me,
happening in the halftime show, though?
you're looking like a celebrity, you know, who went to get some merch for the game, you know, and then, oh yeah, look,
So, Patrick, we just saw a picture where I was pointing to the main
to the
TV.
main screen,
Yeah, what
to the
happened
screen in the
in the
stadium.
halftime show, Patrick?
Yeah, so in the stadium, in the halftime, during the game in the halftime, we had like a great shout out on the main screens uh, in the stadium saying hex.com 5555 tour.
Yes, it's like a lot of people saw that. It came on our booth. Like we had a little suite. We're screaming out. Everybody was paying attention and looking upward, and then they saw hex.com. I
Yeah,
think this was amazing.
here also still in Chicago, the pictures, great, yeah, great surroundings there, great skyline there. We had, yeah, we liked it a lot there. Here, I also found like a lion. Of course, when I see a lion somewhere around, I need to have some pictures with it. And here, some more pictures from Chicago. We had a great afternoon there. You see, David was just jumping around. And actually, the skyline of Chicago for me so far was the most impressive.
Oh yeah, definitely one of the biggest cities we have been in so far. With this skyline, just really, really impressive. And also the city was really clean. I liked that a lot in Chicago for sure. Meeting Crypto Coffee, Johnny Chaos, and all those other Hexicans, just the most fun I ever had in my whole life. I cannot wait for the next day.
Yeah, it is really great. And what you can see here, so a random guy walked by and interviewed us, and then we also made some short clips for our social media there. Here, this is the Chicago beanie, where you have like this giant kind of mirror thing, and as you can see, we just used it with our photographer and had a lot of fun here in the afternoon, going going around these places in Chicago downtown.
Man, I think those pictures are great. You guys should really check them out on Instagram for sure and leave some comments and likes there as well.
Yeah, help us spread the message. It's all about outbounding marketing, outbound messaging. The only reason why not everybody is using Hex is because barely anybody knows about it. But still, we just reached the 70,000 active stakers in the staker app. So uh, it's getting there. So slowly but surely, we are increasing staker by staker. More and more people just see the awesomeness of the hex code and of the community as well. So they also want to get a part of that.
It's great that you just mentioned the community because this is what we are showing right now, the meetups and the workshops. And now this is all about the community, all about the people who came here, for example, in other OG. You guys cannot imagine. Like, of course, we do not know a lot of people from the face because they're not online, right? But still, they're all OGs. This guy, for example, and they were all telling us amazing stories how their life has changed in the past. So this is the reason why we love that so much, to go on the street, talk to Hexicans, and listen to their amazing stories they really have.
Yeah, and another OG like mentioned a great story to me the other day as well. So he onboarded some people in the beginning of Hex, and there was one guy he onboarded like in the first months, and then never heard of him again because it was like just a work relationship, a short time working relationship. And then a couple of months ago, he texted him again and told him like, yeah, he would need to come here because he brought like a group of people together, and then he showed up there, and everybody who was there got onboarded by this other guy. And out of this group of 20 people, three people were already like in the process of retiring because of their hex gains.
And here, Patrick, you see the guy who
Ah,
won
yeah,
the
oh, the
first
winnings.
6,000 hacks, right? Only we first we were only giving out 5,555 hacks, but because of a donation we got from the hex community, we are now able to give out 6,000 hacks and 2,000 hacks, and this is the first one who won that, right?
Yes, exactly.
Really, really young guy, and he was really excited
Yeah.
about that.
I liked it so much that we have a lot of young winners, because there I know, okay, they really can enjoy those hacks, and when they do long term staking with it, they will make
I mean, look at all those faces. Everybody is
big
smiling
gains.
and laughing because they are having the same experience as we are having right now, Patrick.
Yeah, there's still like pictures from Chicago. I liked it a lot. This here in the middle, this is a woman who is researching all the great stories surrounding Hex for the highest of stakes documentary, and she's always on the lookout for great stories. So if you have to tell something amazing, if you have like an amazing Hex story, then please go ahead and contact us. Then we would like to share your story, forward your contact to this person, to the highest of stakes documentary, and maybe your story can make it into the documentary.
That would be great, man. I would love to see that people are coming out telling their story because this is so important. You know, sometimes people do not want to go out and be in public. This is totally okay as well. Keep in mind that if you only tell one person about Hex and this one person buys Hex and changes their life, you already changed one life, which is already worth it. So all the effort already good if you convince somebody to stake some Hex for 10 years.
Yeah, even if I got like deleted a lot in the beginning of Hex by just talking about it in different chat rooms, I still have like a few people who listen to me and great response from them, and Hex definitely also changed their life like it did with my own.
So all the people that you onboarded, they are now part of what we are showing you now. We just surpassed 70,000 stakers in the Hex ecosystem. I think this is amazing. I really have the feeling that the numbers are going up more and more and more in the Hex ecosphere. So 70,000 stakers. Congratulations, everybody, to for this achievement.
Yeah, and that's, guys, that is like the biggest goal for the next year when Pulse Chain comes out, and then let's get that to 1 million active stakers. 1 million people is not that much, if you take into account that we have over 7,000x more in this world than 1 million people. So if we bring Hex to more eyeballs, to more people, if we show them the awesomeness of the code, don't need to sell it, you just need to show it and explain it, teach the people a little bit, and then they will find out by themselves step by step how great the system is, and then it's just easy to get to 1 million active users. And just imagine what the price will do when Hex when the active stakers increase by another 15 or 13x from here.
So this was all about our meetups and workshops. Now let's start talking about Hex a little bit more. It's also a good time to say hello to the chat. Polo One, Orion, Hexander, Hex Monkey, Papa Laba. A lot of people are here. Thanks for that. Benny Blanco, Nada for the win. So DJ Paul Wood, thanks everybody. I see the chat is already really, really active. I will go through that in a second, but first I would show you what I found on Twitter. I think this was really, really cool. Let's first talk about what Antonio Jennings is posting. Here, for example, we have a picture that shows how much money you would have today in order to become a little tinkering turtle. And tinkering turtles, we have 10,500 tinkering turtles in the Hex ecosphere. And this is, I think, pretty cool what we see here, because it shows you how many percent of the T-shares in existence you would need to own to become a tinkering turtle. And this is 0.0001%. So not too much. It is really, really achievable to get 70,000 hex, to stake them, so you can become a tinkering turtle as well. And
And
the
then we see like the accrued interest of a average tinkering turtle, or like on the lower end, not the average. So from when you are getting into this league, just keep in mind, like, to change a league, it's always a 10x in the T shares you need. So it's possible, but it's pretty hard to get up a whole league. It's easy to get up some places, but it's hard to get a whole league. But what we see here is like this tinkering turtle with 1,000 or 1/10,000 of the T-share pool, three zeros and a one,
thousands, I think,
a
is it?
thousands, yeah. Gets a accrued interest of about $400 per month, or $4,800 per year.
But keep in mind, this tinkering turtle that we are seeing here has 11 T shares, right?
Yes, at least.
In dollar amount, this would be 14,500 hex in dollar amount, but it would be way less if you just take it out for 10 years, right? Because then you get more T shares as a bonus. So my guess is, if you would take only 1/3 of those 14,000, so let's say 5,000K, and you stake it out for 10 years, you will also become a tinkering turtle.
Yes.
So the next slide we have here, not a slide, but a picture, is about the squids. Squids pretty much the same. You just see it's like 10 times more T-shirts that you would need to become a squid, and the figures are pretty much the same as well. But the only difference is because a squid already participates from the bigger pays better bonus a little bit more, so their 30-day turnout is a little bit higher. And then if you move up a big step, let's say to the dabbing dolphins, they're earning already massive amounts every single month, which is so cool to see. So yeah, this was just a cool thing that I thought from Anthony Jenkins was really, really cool. I think I will definitely follow this guy. So let us do this really quick. Follow is here, and all the likes will come in the future too. So, what else is there to discuss about? Is there something that you would like to talk about, Patrick?
Yeah, at first I would like to have a look in the chat and then look around if we have like some questions going on. So guys, please, if you have any recent questions for Hex, for share rate, for T shares, for Pulse chain and so on, just push them out. The only thing what we still don't know, also we here at Kryptosparbuch don't know the answer to it, would be when the Pulse chain finally comes out, or what will be the first price of the Pulse coin. We don't know that. That's pure speculation, but we are also curious to find out. And besides those two questions, please give us everything you have in mind, what you would like to know.
Even those two questions would be okay because then I would just give you my gut feelings, which is about everything I know about Pulse Chain. So, the next thing that I want to show you, because somebody was asking that he wants to go to New York, to Albany to see our workshop, and where could he find out more information about that? It is at freedomtv.info. There you find all the information you need to know about our trips. And here you also see hexconference.com. If you have no tickets yet, you should definitely go to hexconference.com to
So
get
there are
some tickets
two
as well.
events in next year. One is the Hexpo.online. This is the online conference. It's the second of its kind after the Hexchange 2021. We make the Hexpo Online 2022 in the beginning of January, like we did it last year as well, from January 6th to the 9th. And there we will do another time our Power of T-Shares keynote presentation. It's free to attend for each and everybody, and it's a 4-day online conference hosted by Mehdi on YouTube. And then in March, we have the biggest Hex conference so far with over 1,000 people, and this will be take place from March 6th to 9th in Las Vegas. And just go to hexconference.com to check out details. And here on freedomtv.info, thanks to Barry, T Money, and also to Julio and Rob for putting this site together and keep our calendar up to date. And here you find all the details to our workshops, like tonight where we have like a casual hangout in a nightclub. And then tomorrow, click like on the tomorrow day, if you click on it, you also see the address here. You can also reserve your place. It's free to reserve. All of the stuff we do is free to attend, and you get a chance to win a nice Hex giveaway to start with your own financial freedom.
And in this schedule, here you also find things like the Steelers versus Bears, where we will attend, and then you can also go there, buy your ticket, and meet us in the halftime show, maybe stuff like that. You will find here in the schedule. So if you're interested in what we are doing, go to freedomtv.info and find out about everything. So this would be the first thing that I would recommend to everybody, to every Hex OG. You guys need to help us scale this thing because we need to bring people to the workshop so we can onboard them and bring financial freedom to them as well.
Yeah, so what else do we have to talk about? I mean, guys, we are not about to stream a long time. I guess we have not so much people in the chat right now, because I know today it's Friday. We needed to schedule our streams for today as well, because otherwise we don't have a good time window in this week, because tomorrow there is the workshop going on, and I know a lot of Hex streamers are streaming always on Fridays. I think that we are like streaming together with Cabana right now. Shout out to him. He has also a great show always on Friday, the happy hour stream. Sorry that we moved into the same time window, but it wasn't possible to schedule the streams on a different timing for this week. And yes, do you have any questions
So
from the chat?
Johnny Chaos was saying, "Thank you guys for coming to me. It was absolutely awesome. So glad you guys were able to schedule me in." Johnny Chaos, we had an awesome time. Of course, we
Thanks
are
a lot. Yeah.
glad to have you and to came to your store as well. It was really, really great. And this is what we want to do. We want to meet all the Hexicans OGs. Here's something really interesting from Crypto Goose. I don't know actually if he's like trolling me or not.
I
He
don't
is
think so.
saying, not aiming for T shares, my goal to accumulate Q shares. What could a Q share be? Is that like a really high amount of T share, maybe?
Yeah, that's like, I guess that's 1,000 T shares.
Wow. I would love
Seriously?
to see that. 1,000 t-shirts to accumulate in one share in one stake is big time. So something else here from Jerry. Was Richard sending secret information when he announced his birthday and the time of day he was born? Have you seen that? Richard posted his day of birth. It is on October 9th, and it was in Pittsburgh. And we are going to Pittsburgh in the next city, right?
Ah, really? He was born there?
Yeah, he was born in
Ah,
Pittsburgh,
I
and the
didn't know
question
that.
is now, why did he post that? We know Richard always talks like in big pictures, and we have to read in between the lines if we have to want get those secret informations out, right? So, Patrick, what do you think? Why did he post that?
I think Richard just realized that as he is such a public figure right now, he might just have upgraded his own security standards, and now he's able to share some things like his birthday. And actually, like, even if he didn't share it before that, a lot of people in the community already knew that in the beginning of October there he has his birthday. So I guess he just said, okay, fuck it, and told us where he was born. And another information what he also told us already is that he is living in Europe, and that's why he is going through Europe.
But we do not know the country, of course, right? My guess is Germany, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, and Austria. I would love to see him living in a German speaking country, just like because I'm from Germany.
Yeah, do you think that Richard speaks German and just like we nobody knows it, you know?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't believe that he speaks German. Just some words here and there because he's a smart guy. But I believe that if he would know how to speak German, he would at least say a couple of words to us sometimes. And he did not so far. So,
Yeah,
I-
maybe because he doesn't want to let us know that he is in a German speaking country.
well, yeah, maybe. This is the time to accumulate, guys, and accumulation, I mean shares. This is what Benny Blanco is saying, and yes, this is what we wanted to show you with the squid and the turtles. It does not matter at all if you buy hex. It only matters if you accumulate T-shares, just as Benny is saying here.
I mean, is there another comment from Crypto Goose? A little bit
CryptoGoose
off.
just said, "My guess that
No, no,
Richard Hart is
the
living in
Patrick,
Luxembourg."
can you explain?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I saw that as well. Give me a second. It
because
is
I
a really
can.
hard question though,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that is why I have not read it yet.
yeah. Then give it to me. I
Give
like
me
hard questions.
give me a sec. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
CryptoGoose saying, Patrick, can you explain how you see the liquidity pools with the equalized by the fixer bot just prior to the pulse fork?
So what is going on here? There is one address called the automated market maker of pools who has 1% of the total supply of pools in it. And this address is actually a programmed smart contract, which and the goal of this smart contract is the reallocation of the liquidity pools after the fork. Why? Because most of the pools, or all of the pools who have Ethereum on the other side, because so at the fork, what will take place is also a fork of Uniswap, the decentralized exchange on the Ethereum network. And a lot of coins on there have their liquidity connected to Ethereum. So they have their coin, their ERC20 standard coin, and Ethereum in the main pool. And with the fork, there is no more Ethereum. So all Ethereum will be pools, and you only get like a one-on-one freemium if you hold Ethereum over the fork, but no like Ethereum on the pools chain. So the automated market maker smart contract will take care that the ratios between or in the pool between a ERC20 coin and the pools coin is the same as it is on the Ethereum chain with the specific ERC20 coin and the Ethereum pool. So this smart contract just will take care that all the ratios are the same after the fork on both chains. Yeah.
Great question, great explanation. So basically, Patrick, there are two things, right? We have the bridge, which is one thing, but
Yes.
also we have pulse swap, right? So what are the
I mean,
difference of those two?
we have two. Actually, we have two forks going on. Not two forks, but with the fork, we have more things get forked. For example, the whole system state. So each and every ERC20 token, for example, Hex, for example, also the stable coins, and many more. And then what gets also forked is, as explained, Uniswap, and also PancakeSwap will get forked. And on PancakeSwap, there will be a new coin for liquidity mining, and this code will be used for the bridge, so people can take their original ERC20 token, bridge that to the Pulse chain, get like the bridged version and the copied version, and put both versions in a liquidity pool on the PancakeSwap fork DEX, and start mining the liquidity token where nobody knows the name of
Well,
yet.
it is so cool as Richard Hart brings adoption to crypto with this cool bridge here we have here, right? A lot of people have shit coins that they cannot do anything with. But now if they bring it over to Pulse and provide liquidity with their shit coin and then the shit coin they got for free, put that in the bridge, and now they're getting yield out of that. I think Richard is pulling a lot of people from their shit coins and like bringing them adoption so they can finally do something with their crypto.
Yes.
All right. So what else do we have here in the chat? Crypto Goose is thinking Richard is living in Luxembourg. Yep, that's definitely a chance here. DJ Paulwood is saying quadrillion means Q shares, I think. Patrick, what is hex price in 1 year?
The hex price in 1 year, according to hexologists, about $75.
$75. I cannot wait for that. What are you gut feeling of hex price next year? Okay, we had that. And how about Pulse next year?
Pooh, that's a hard one. I don't know the starting price. And I mean, there is more FOMO going on than in the start of Hex. So maybe it's hard to say when Pulse launches. Let's say Pulse launches in the beginning of next year. So 1 year after launch, January 2023, could be a penny.
So Turtles Only is saying turtles will be millionaires, believe me. So let me do a bold statement as well. If you have one T-share, you will be a hex whale one day. In
A
let's say
hex whale?
50,
No,
50
no,
years.
no. You will be like a whale, but not a hex
Oh yeah,
whale.
it will be a crypto whale. This is
Yeah.
exactly what I wanted to say. So the next question from Hex Bullrun. Uh,
Yes.
it would be funny, in my opinion, to see less than 11 million T-shares due to the ever-rising T-share rate. So Patrick, explain that a little bit. You mentioned that before as well. We did a simulation where we calculated how many T-shares that ever could be in existing. Right now we are at 11 million T-shares. And
Hmm.
why does this number go down in the future?
So when it comes to Hex, we have a dynamic interest system where we have one new function. It's like a innovative system, never existed before, and this innovative function is called the share rate. And the share rate is there to make sure that a longer stake always outperforms the shorter one, so that it's always beneficial to stake long. That's what we call longer always pays better. So, what is the share rate? The share rate makes sure that at each and every end stake, which takes place in the ecosystem, the share rate asks a question. Can this specific stake, who just run the end stake function, get more shares by restaking his principal and all the accrued interest for the same amount of time again? And if the answer is yes, that yes, theoretically, this stake could get more shares than before by restaking everything for the same amount of time again, then the share rate moves up accordingly. That also this specific stake could also get the same amount of shares maximum. So you cannot cheat the hex system. Longer always pays better, and the share rate therefore always moves a little bit up, that nobody can get more shares than he had before. So what does that mean? That means that over time, people need more and more and more hex to get T shares, or to get shares in general without T. And the higher the hex price goes, and the higher the share rate increases, those combine together. So those is there is like the exponential function. So it will take more and more and more economic energy to get a lot of shares. And that's the reason why over time the total T share pool has a deflationary character. It's not deflationary generally speaking. Only pools will be, because when it something is deflationary, you get only the total amount at the beginning. Let's say 100 trillion coins when it comes to pools, for example, will be a bit more, I guess. And from there, from the first block, this number only goes down little by little by little. Why? Because Pulse Chain has 25% of automatic fee burn, and it is a deflationary currency. When it comes to the T share pool of Hex, each and every day a new player can get in, buy himself a lot of Hex, or just accumulates the Hex over the course of a few months, and then makes like a few big stakes in his staking ladder, long stakes, and then increases the T-share pool from one day to another. So it only has a deflationary character, because it always takes more and more and more economic energy to further increase it.
So you already talked about those two things that are going on. It is the T-share price going up, but also it is the dollar amount of hex that is going up. And this is where we really have the compounding interest here. It is not a compounding interest as we know it from the legacy market, where your account gets bigger, you get interest on top of that, and then next year you just
Yeah, like
compound.
where your principal is increasing.
And what we have in hex, it is
Yeah.
a reverse compounding interest function, right?
Yeah,
So
because at first you choose how long you want to stake. With your longer pace, better bony, you get certain amount of shares, and then your shares work for you. Your principal like sits here and just tells you with your timelines how much T shares you got, or how much shares you got, and then those shares are working for you. So in the end, you get your principal just as a total back, and but the longer you stake, the more T shares you got, the more T shares you have, the more hex you are accruing, and the longer you keep these T shares in a stake. So that's why it's beneficial to stake for 5555 and not only for 10 years, is because you keep those T shares for 5 years more of a time. And in the last 5 years, you will make another time the same amount of interest than you did in the first 10 years. That's why it's like way more beneficial to stake for the 15 years than only for the 10 years. Because if you would restake, if you would need to restake after the 10-year mark, you don't get to enjoy this last 5 years where you would get at least the same amount of interest than in the first 10 years.
And for me, the special thing about the T-share price only going up is it does two things. First, it makes the people have a good behavior, because when they stake, they already think about, okay, in 5 years when that's gonna end, how many T-shirts would I then need? And then they realize, oh, they would need way more. So they stake from the get-go. They're doing a staking ladder. This is what we're doing in Hex, right? We are
Mhm.
using the whole timeline, 15 years, to stake our money and make our money work for you.
Yeah,
But the
and
second thing that it does, it also um, gives good participation. Or that's not the word. It gives the most to the early adopters, right?
yeah.
So this is a tool that brings in FOMO in Hex, because you do not want to see the T-share price going up before you made your stakes. So you're actually incentivized to do your stakes as early as possible.
And also, like with this T-share price, it's like we never stop learning when it comes to Hex. And for the next week's live stream, I have like a really, really interesting Easter egg to tell you when it comes to the share rate and to individual staking strategies. And this Easter egg would be more for the OGs of Hex, for those people who have already like their long-term staking ladder up and running and have also a short-term stake. So for those OG people, I have a pretty interesting Easter egg next week.
And what we will talk about next week, it will have a topic just like behavior on the blockchain or positive behavior on the blockchain. And I would like to talk about that kind of Easter eggs even more in the future. So Patrick and I will think about what is good behavior on the blockchain and then tell that to you guys. And what Patrick just found out yesterday is something that you have not thought about too much, but now because it happened to you, you have you found out something new, and next week we will share that with you guys. But what else could we share with the community? Of course, we only have like 20 minutes left in our crypto
Yeah,
Sparbook
then I
stream here
would say
today. this
let's
is
come to
why
the most important thing. No,
this is
let's
why we need
go
to do the
over
most important thing, the
the
technical
price
analysis of hex
analysis.
line. So let's start that.
So here we go already. What we can see here is the daily chart of Hex. Just to explain you something in general, Hex is like a decorrelated crypto asset. So unlike the rest of the crypto market, who goes up and down mostly together, Hex is like decorrelated from there. And like just look here, if you compare it to the general crypto market, the general crypto market went down by like 50% from let's have a look to get the times because we have a little time left. Let's have a look on Bitcoin and Ethereum. When did Bitcoin had its old all-time high? This was here in April, and then about 28 days later, Ethereum had its all-time high. So this would need to be, I guess, somewhere here in the beginning of May. Let's go back to Hex and let's have a look. So when Bitcoin and Ethereum went down by over 50%, it was oh, it was even here. So here it was like the top of Bitcoin, and then here it was the top of Ethereum. And Ethereum went down like drastically, while Hex only had like a little correction of a week and a half, and then just kept going. Then we had like the sacrifice phase of pulse going on, and just still kept going. So while main crypto went down, the Hex price increased by a couple of 100%. And what goes up so high needs to correct on a certain point of time, and that's what we see right here in the last 46 days or 47 days. Yeah, 47, 48 days. The hex price once again is like just in a correction, in a healthy correction. Here, especially in this last run up, a lot of new people came in, and yeah, as we all had it, each and everybody needs to go through this liquidity dips. That's why it's beneficial to stake and then just you set the time when you want to act again in your Hex portfolio. And during the time, you're just accruing interest and can just lean back and enjoy your Hex growing and growing and growing. And if you're just a little lucky and your stake ends to the right time where there is a big FOMO going on at the time, then you get a hex price to get out, and all the volatility in the past doesn't matter anymore. So what else for the price analysis? What you can also
um
see is like
maybe
right
maybe this
now.
fits to what your point is right
Oh,
now.
okay,
Hex
yeah,
Bull
go
Run
ahead.
is saying, could we go sideways for another 3 months?
Yes, so it let's have a outlook right now. It all depends like when the pulse chain comes out. I know there is a lot of FOMO in the market right now that it might be in the beginning of December. I don't think so. I think that the highest of stakes team just will do some big announcement what they are doing, but that the pulse chain launch, I guess it will be next year. That's just my gut feeling right now, and I just know the longer we wait, the better it will be. And also, when we have a look at the chart picture here, we are in this buy zone right now, which is like nearly 60 to nearly 70 drop from the all-time high. This was always a high beneficial, a high profit zone when you got into the hex market after it dropped 60%. And down here, this would be like my lowest possible point. And here you see the long upwards trend coming here. So yes, my expectation is also some sideways action until we reach this upwards trend here, and then next year somewhere we announce the start of the pulse chain, and then we get this breakout over the dollar.
All right. So no more questions in the chat. I guess your technical analysis made the people speechless.
You think so?
So you guys, if you have more questions about Hex, Pulse or about the 555 tour
And
that we are
what I
doing,
also
just
want to add, you still see that in the screen share. Right now, I'm always looking like at the fees and at the fee structure and so on. And since like 2 weeks, it's pretty hard to get under 100 Gwei. Right now, it would be under 100 Gwei. It's still, and you see it jumping already like over it. So you might be able to get it. You get your swap done with 90 to 100 Gwei if you just have a look out. Lots of times it was beneficial in the weekend, where in a time when America sleeps. So maybe you want to go party and maybe you don't drink too much in the night. Then you, when you come back, check the fees. Maybe it's beneficial to do your blockchain transactions then, because $100 is still like a disgusting amount of fee to get into Hex.
so
I'm
Hex
sorry for
Monkey
that.
is saying, why would Hex continue to rise when Pulse starts? Hex might looks less attractive and expensive to buy.
I don't think so. So because when Pulse starts, everybody gets a copy. When everybody gets double the amount of hex into their portfolio, I expect like the next correction. But I also expect a huge new all-time high before Pulse Chain comes out. So I don't think that we see a lower low than we will see in the correction right now in the future when Pulse starts. So there might be a possibility for all the people who come like with the announcement of Pulse Chain is starting, that they can also participate in a lower hex price after the fork, because a lot of people just sold some of their copied hex.
So Pulse Lord is saying, Pulse Hex on the Pulse chain share rate could outpace Hex on the Ethereum chain. What do you say to that?
The staking amount, I think, will outpace um, the staking amount on the, so the staking ratio will be higher on the Pulse chain than on the East chain, but not that much higher. So just like maximum 1% more, and the share rate will increase faster on the Ethereum chain than on the Pulse chain. And the daily payout per T share might be a little bit less on the Pulse chain than on the East chain. Like instead of 5.7, 5.8, what we have right now, it might be 5.5, 5.6.
So RARV is saying, should we have liquid Hex for fork or stake as much as we have?
Whatever you want to have, you know. So I, for example, I disagree with people who are saying you should now stake for 5555, because I personally don't trust the Ethereum chain for such a long time anymore. But it's, I don't want to give anybody an idea if he hasn't staked right now, because I just look at my own portfolio and I have my staking ladder running. So even if I'm wrong with not staking 555 on the East chain anymore, I still have my staking ladder till 2035 also on the East chain. So I can just afford it to make that decision for me and my portfolio to not trust the East chain anymore. And I only staked like a short period of time what I think Pulse chain will start. So actually have two of those stakes running. One will go till March, because I don't want to bother with the stake again during our tour going on. and then I can like just delete the access and just have the private key really good manipulated and nowhere findable, and then I just don't need to think about this stake anymore. And my other short-term stake, I will just roll it over for another 30 days, and in 30 days I will have a look where pulse chain is, and if I think okay, at least another 30 days, then as well stake it for another 30 days. And as soon as pulse chain is out, I will do my next 5555 on.
So Hex Monkey is saying, look at what Hex is doing right now. I personally think this mirrors what will happen once Pulse Chain comes out. Well,
Yeah, I mean, this is a possibility actually. Yeah, because I also think once Pulse Chain comes out, there is uh, uh, a lot of economic energy who still wants to get into Pulse, and this economic energy will unload in the beginning of Pulse. So what I expect to happen is a rise in the Pulse price in the first days, and then we might see the first correction. And I it all depends on the first price. If we will see a correction which is even lower than the first listing price, or if the listing price is like really really low, then we will see a huge run up, and then a 70-80% correction from there.
so Pulse Lord is saying, what about if there are many more short stakes on the P Hex chain? Will that ratchet the T share rate faster over time?
No.
The reason because of that is the short term staking is only making the T-share rate going up to short term. If there ever's been if there will be a staker that is long time staked already, let's say from December 3rd when Hex came out, and then ends the stake, the T-share rate will anyways go up like that, even if those short term stakers did not act as they did. So short term stakers, yes, they do make the t-shirt price go up a little bit, but
Yeah.
this is only in short term. When there is a bigger guy and ending the stake, it is always ratcheting it up even faster
Yeah.
then.
So the reality, or the real correct term, is that nobody can get more shares than before by just restaking everything for the same amount of time. But what you can also like derive from that statement is that the share rate will also move up when somebody gets a new highest return of investment in the system. But not only so, especially like in the beginning there was some misunderstanding of how the t-share rate will behave in 15, 16 years, because a lot of people thought that uh, at that point the highest ever achievable return of investment will already took place, and from there the share rate cannot go up again. But the share rate can always go up is if there is only one staker in the system who only stakes for 1 week, then this staker will move up the share rate, because when he end stakes after this week, he would get more shares if he would get his principal and all the accrued interest for another week. So there will be a share rate increase. But on the Pulse chain side, even with more staking behavior, the share rate will just ramp up more often, but not as much. And as there is less staking ratio on the Ethereum side of Hex, on the Ethereum chain, people on the Ethereum chain will get more payout per T share each and every day. Therefore, they will move up the share price even higher when they end a specific stake on the ETH chain. Then they move up the share rate on the Pulse chain, because as there is more staking behavior on the Pulse chain, each and everybody, each and every staker will get a little less payout per T share. And as people get less payout per T share, they get a little lesser total return of investment, and therefore they they don't ratchet up the T-share rate as much, because the T-share rate doesn't need to go up that much in order to make sure that those end stakes don't get more shares than before.
So Patrick, let us talk about a little bit more about the a bit about the fork, about freemium maybe and stuff like that, because there are a lot of misconceptions about what gets copied over, what will be a freemium, what will be taken away after 30
Of
days. So
course.
let's
So
talk
let's start
about that.
that. So there are, the first thing is snapshot and fork. So the first thing is that people misunderstand snapshot and fork, and it's not the same thing, and it's not that both things are going to happen. The thing which will happen is only one fork. When Hex started, we also had no, not we also. When Hex started, we only had the snapshot by making a picture of the Bitcoin blockchain at December 2nd for being able to do all the Bitcoin free claims in the launch phase of Hex. And this was a snapshot. It was not just called a snapshot, it was an actual snapshot. And when it comes to the Pulse chain, which is a fork of the Ethereum blockchain, we only speak of a fork, no snapshot at all, only one event called fork, because now we have the Ethereum blockchain running block by block by block, and then there will be this event, the fork, and from there we have two blockchains running, the Ethereum blockchain and the Pulse blockchain. And there is no snapshot or something like that, only a fork. Then what else is the misconception? Yeah, with freemiums. So what will be copied over? All the ERC20 tokens and tokens. So everything which lives on the Ethereum blockchain, every like Chainlink, like USDC, USDT, DAI, everything which is on the Ethereum blockchain. Hex is also a ERC20 blockchain token, and all those tokens will get a full copy. When it comes to Ethereum, we have something special. Uh, one Ethereum will not be one Pulse Ethereum. One Ethereum will become one Pulse. So when you hold just Ethereum over the fork, you will get nearly nothing out of it, because one Ethereum right now is worth nearly $4,500. And if you hold this $4,500 value with in the form of one Ethereum over the fork, you only uh, you will only get a freemium of one pulse. So for this $4,500 coin, you only get one coin, which will have a value of, I would say, less than a penny in the beginning.
So this is what the question came from. This is why I asked you that. Will the
Yes.
Polygon network be also get a copy of the Hex if you have Hex on the Polygon network?
Yes.
Oh, really? I
Yes.
thought it was just layer one.
Uh, yeah, but those hacks who are on layer 2 came there from layer 1 and are like in this bridge, and everything which is in this bridge is not a centralized exchange, it's all decentralized, will get a copy. But
Normally, I hear.
I mean, okay, no, actually I need to rewind here, because I don't know the correct answer. I really
So
don't know,
normally
because
you have a lot of confidence in your
no, no,
voice,
no, but
and
it is
now.
on your private. No, no. Of course, yeah, it will get a copy, because you still hold the key for that. Because even if you move your Ethereum to the Polygon network, then, or to the Matic network, it's actually called Polygon, was like the previous name, or
Yeah.
yeah. So to the Matic network, then you still hold your own private keys in order to, because you can still like exchange things on QuickSwap. So you still have those hex in your own wallet on your own private key. So I would say yes, but I'm not 100% sure with that.
And then one question was also, will all the Hex get copy over? And Jerry
Yes.
already said not at all. And not
What?
all Hex will be copied over. It's just the ERC20 token in your private wallet, not for ERC20 tokens on exchanges like
Yeah.
Coinbase
Yeah.
or whatever. If it's
Yeah,
on the
but you cannot
exchange,
hold hex on Coinbase. So
oh yeah, or UCC or Chainlink. If you have that kind of stuff on Coinbase or on a centralized exchange, then you will not get a copy when Pull Chain comes out. So Patrick, you were also talking about a fork and a snapshot, and you were explaining how those two things are different things, right? But
Yeah.
we have a lot of opinions in the Hex ecosystem, and here I will to show you somebody. His name is Metallic Elmo, and he is saying, when a fork of a coin is being created, a so-called snapshot takes place. This snapshot is a state of the chain at a certain block number. The devs decide when this snapshot takes place.
No,
When the
this
snapshot
is
is
not this.
taken,
This is not the snapshot.
can
This
you
is
call it
called
a
the
fork?
fork.
Because at that point, the original chain and you new chain work independent of each other. Like a T junction, you now have two chains. They go to their separate ways. So stop saying there is no such thing as a snapshot. So as I understood it, as a little pleb as I am, snapshot is just a word for something that takes place in a certain time. How else would you describe when the fork occurs? You know, you would need to say, okay, at this time the fork occurs, a snapshot is taking place with all the data from the past is now
Yeah, no,
also on in the
it's not like
blockchain.
how it works. When Hex started, we needed a really snapshot
A
by
snapshot
making
is
a
just a moment in
picture.
time.
No, it's not like that.
It is
By
called a
no,
snapshot. That's what
no,
we. No,
that's not different things.
it's called a
May
snapshot
I explain it?
when you
May I
take a
explain it or
picture.
not? Yeah.
You did. I listened to you before.
Yeah,
Like
so it's completely two different things because when you have a snapshot, you make a picture
yes.
of a certain blockchain. And now we already have the Pulse testnet running, and the Ethereum blockchain is already synchronized. Otherwise, we couldn't make the testnet. And then you just need a certain block number. And in this block number, the fork takes place. And you don't need to make a picture again of the whole Ethereum blockchain.
Because you did once already, right?
No, you don't need the picture because you synchronize the whole blockchain before you before the fork takes place.
All right. So what else is there in the chat? We already surpassed this 1 hour. So, Patrick, is there something else that you would like to tell the Hex community?
No, so far I guess we spoke about everything. Thanks for your questions, really good questions today, and I hope you guys know, like, no snapshot, only a fork. There are no two things to happen, and yes, thanks to Mars, who is the host in the background of our Kryptosparbuch stream. He also sent me like the confirmation because I also wrote that in the same chat room as he shows me right now. And also, one of the lead developers was explaining that there are no such things like two things, like a snapshot and a fork, that we just have the whole system state of the Ethereum blockchain already synchronized. Then there will be like a special uh, block number on the Ethereum blockchain, and in this block number the fork takes place, and from there on we have two blockchains running.
So I just got the text from Mello,
Yeah, that
and
was what I was talking about.
oh, this what was you were
Yeah.
talking about. Somebody else also is saying there is no snapshot. It is just a hard fork. Maybe this is the word I was looking for. Hard fork. Um, seems Patrick was right.
I know. There,
Okay.
there I had my information from.
Give
Thanks,
Jerry is
thanks
saying.
Mars for bringing that up.
Jerry is saying give each other a hug. Yeah, this is what we're doing. Fork December 2nd possible? Nah, I think it's not possible. It's too early. We need a little bit more time. Yeah, it's on action. It just happens. Boom, it happens and it's done. Benny Blanco, thanks for that. Shiggy, I really like your clear explanation as always. For the
Thanks a lot.
person like me being non-English speaking background originally, thanks as always. Thanks, Shiggy,
Hey,
for that.
actually, David, I never thought about that. Some people might enjoy our
Discussions?
no,
Fights?
our slang, our accent, because we are not native speakers, so we might not use like such complicated words in English and always try to break it down. So maybe a lot of people from foreign countries, also watch our stream, preferable. So thanks a lot for
Yeah,
all the support we get, and
I heard
yes.
that a lot. So the last thing here from Martin Axel. So you will be in Pittsburgh November 9th. Did you know Richard Hart was born there? Yes, Richard just posted out on Twitter that he was born on October 9th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I think it is. And we will be there in the next week as well. We drive there by the day after tomorrow, I think. And then you can go and check out freedomtv.info to check our schedule. There you will see that we are on the workshop in Pittsburgh, November 9th. Please come and bring your family. This is so important in order so we can scale what we are doing.
All right, guys, and now we already surpassed our hour mark. I hope you had a lot of fun here with us today. It's always a little funny when I have like my hex discussions with together with Abid, especially when he thinks he found some proof on Twitter that there is something like this, and I already found my proof somewhere else that it's not the case. Then we always have a nice discussion,
Well, the
and
fight is not over yet. I have seen a picture, a video on YouTube, so maybe I am able to prove you wrong. So thanks, everybody.
you know that my information is from the lead developer of Hex, and also like who is pretty involved in the Pulse ecosystem.
Seems like he is wrong too, then.
Yeah, I will tell him
Well,
that.
I have 2 years of pleb experience, like, so who's gonna teach me, right? Okay, everybody, thanks for being in the chat. Thanks for being so active. It was a blast today to answer all those questions. This is why we do it, and I cannot wait for the next stream, actually.
All right, so have a great weekend, guys. I'm really looking forward to the workshop next week. Just go on Facebook and search like Columbus and invite the people you might have there as a Facebook friend and tell them they should come out and see the Hex DeLorean, see the Hex Audi R8, the supercar, see the Pulse Chain rep car and the Stake rep car. Make some pictures, have a great time together with some Hex OGs and some newer Hexicans on our workshop. And yes, always great conversations. It's always like a little think tank going on. So have a great weekend. Enjoy the hex gains. Enjoy accumulating if you're new now in the perfect buying zone by 60 cent off the recent all-time high. And at this point of time in the price, it was never you never needed a long time to get back in the profit zone.
Of course, we do not forget the chilling. You have seen a lot of pictures today in our stream. If you want to see more, go on our Instagram page of Kryptosparbuch, hex.line, and abit_hex. And do not miss the Twitter content as well. Kryptosparbuch, abit underscore hex and hex line. There you will find a lot of content in the future as well.
Yeah.
So thanks, everybody, and
Yeah.
see you
Shout
next
out
week.
to our team as well. Great work what everybody is doing. We have a great editor, great video guy, great social media guys. Also the Kryptosparbuch team who is in the background, not like only Avid and myself. Also to Mars and Dan, shout out to them, and also to our tour managers in Vegas, also to our tour manager here who is with us. And now we will go on and have some dinner here in Columbus, and then we go and enjoy the night here because it's like a student town. And
This ending gets longer and longer and
yeah,
longer
it
because
gets in.
next week we really have the most important thing planned that we have been working on so far, right? We were delaying it for 3 weeks already, but next week we will start with a video series, and there we show you what we are doing. So next week will be a really big promotion video from our side. We want everybody to promote what we are doing next week. Before or after the live stream, we will figure it out. So next week you definitely want to be live with us on stream as well.
And I guess like this delaying, I guess this is like the bad influence from Maddie, who is used to stream like for hours and hours. But now let's call it a day. Have a great weekend, everybody out there. See you next week, and bye bye. Yeah, bye.